morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you very much for making time to be for this press conference that we did this morning. I'd like to begin firstly by talking about the event that we have today and also some of the promotional issues, marketing issues that SPTO is participating in, which includes. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Now, this event, the South Pacific Tourism Exchange, this is the first event that we are putting together for Pacific Island countries. If you look across the region, they do have national programs or national events that happen in most of the destinations. But SPTO thought it is important, especially for the international outbound wholesalers, that we bring together sellers from the entire region in such an event so that they can do business easily with the wholesaler. So when a wholesaler comes in and then is able to meet and speak with all representatives of our 16 Pacific Island destinations, includes both the National Tourist Office and the private sector operators. So for this first one, we had put up this idea hoping that we'd start off something small and then gradually increase this to make it the event for Pacific Island countries. And we have been overwhelmed with the response received, both from the sellers, from the representatives of our Pacific Island countries, and also for the wholesalers, for the buyers who've come in not only in Australia and New Zealand, but also in the long-haul markets of UK, Europe, Canada. And we hope to begin this first event and build upon it in the next couple of years. And then see how well we can improve on this event and expand it so that it becomes, as I said, the event for tourism business in Pacific Island countries. We have details of the number of participants in today's event, today and tomorrow's event. It's about 50 sellers and 60 buyers coming in. That has been a great response, especially for such an event that has been organized for the first time for Pacific Island countries. And as you can imagine, tourism has become the major industry for Pacific Island countries. Pacific Island countries are limited in the resources that they have. So the issue of marketing and promoting the destinations is quite critical. So SPTO comes in and supports the activities done by the countries at the national level. And so we try to put this together to support these activities, doing it at a regional level. So we are very happy, we are very glad with the response of today's event, and we do look forward to building upon this event and making it bigger, much bigger in the next couple of years. Thank you. I'd like to start with that, and perhaps if there's any specific questions, I'd be happy to respond.
How many countries, how many islands, and are there any islands missing?
Yeah, we have 16 Pacific Island countries here, and those who are missing would be some of the islands who are not our members up in the northern Pacific. But otherwise, our 16 member countries are represented here.
And why not part of your outfit?
Well, we are a intergovernmental membership organization, so the process is that they apply to become members. So we haven't yet been in touch with them for them to become members of SPTO.
But will you?
Yes, absolutely. We'll be going out, and seeking to expand our government membership base, and to see how we can get everybody on board.
This is the first time you've, John Alwyn Jones, Global Travel Media, this is the first time you've gone proactively into a trade show and so on, okay? Does this mean that you're going to be doing more of this? And let's say, for example, if this is successful, which we presume it will be, what will happen next year? Bigger, better?
Yes, absolutely. This one here is very much so something that we've done, like I said, for the first time, and we've gotten some very good learning experiences in the past couple of days, weeks. The aim is that we'll be building this to be a bigger event. The responses from some of our member island countries have been such that they have questioned, why have you not put together an event that's bigger than this? Because we had turned away quite a few of the operators. And we are sad in doing that, but we tried to set up something that is manageable at this time. And from next year onwards, it will be bigger. And so far, the responses that we have been getting, is pointing us to a direction that this needs to be expanded, to grow, specifically starting next year. So we are looking to improve on the concept, improve on the size of the event, and hopefully after the next 2 days, we will see the other areas that we need to work on. So it certainly will be growing in the next couple of years.
Thank you.
Connectivity is always been an issue that you're trying to sell the Pacific Islands to the international markets. What was the participation of other airlines who are serving the region, apart from New Zealand, Fiji already? They also hope and thought of trying to bring in the rest, like Virgin Australia, New Guinea, and so many times.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Without the airlines, tourism business in any island destination would be difficult. So for this first event, we're very glad to have had the support of New Zealand and Fiji Airways to start off with. We also have been speaking with the regional airlines, like local regional airlines like Solomon Airways. But we see that the importance of growing the participation of other airlines, and that will be something that's in our planning programs for the next events.
Are there any thoughts of expanding South Pacific Tourism Organization that you are head of to include the Northern Pacific countries and islands like Marshall and Palau?
Well, as I've said earlier, is that we will work hard in inviting these other island countries to join us as a regional organization, because we do offer benefits and services that will appeal to them. There are just a few countries like Palau and some of the northern Pacific island countries that it's not in yet. So, as I said previously, that's something we'll be working on. Other countries in the northern Pacific have joined.
How many of your sellers are from Fiji?
I don't have the exact number here, but we are very glad to have the two major outbound wholesalers in Fiji, and that is Rosie Holidays and ATS Pacific. Now, when you have the wholesalers, they are not only big in Fiji, they're big in the Pacific. So that's just an example of operators who are here. So we're very pleased with that.
And with the long-haul buyers in particular, were you happy with the response in terms of how many took up the opportunity of perhaps going to 80 in trends?
Yes, see, the timing of this event was such that we were targeting the long-haul wholesalers, like you're saying, which happened immediately after trends. Whilst we would have liked to get more responses from these wholesalers, we're quite pleased with the numbers that we have so far. And like I said, it is the first one, and a lot of these wholesalers did not have this event in their travel programs. So they come in, they attend ATE and they attend trends, and then they go back. But we're pleased with those who have responded so far and are here with us today.
Will it continue to be in Auckland, or are you looking at just moving it around the Pacific?
Yeah, good question. Starting this with Auckland, and we will see whether we need to have it here in Auckland, or should it move around? Not only to Pacific banks in Australia to after ATE. But that will depend on what the buyers and the sellers tell us. It will not depend on SPTO. So when we get the feedback from the buyers and the sellers, from those, this is actually for them to do business. And they tell us that we need to have it here, that's where we go.
Zero, I know that you didn't mention Asia in your long-term, long-haul destinations. With the increasing, or probably the fastest growing tourism in New Zealand being from Asia, and a significant percentage of Asians in New Zealand being actually New Zealanders, is there any way that you're going to try and market the island destinations to this bubbling new communities?
Yeah, Asia is listed in, you see, we get categories of our markets that we target. One is a traditional market, short-haul market, which is Australia and New Zealand. And then we have the long-haul markets, which is USA, Canada, and Europe, European regions, UK, Europe. And the third one is emerging markets. Asia falls under emerging markets. We do recognize the significance of growth in that market. Not only in terms of the outbound tourist travel, but also when you look at the economic growth, the social development growth that's happening in these markets. These do provide for us good guidance on the forecasts that we have for the future growth of these markets. So we are doing quite a lot of activities in the Asian region, the Asian trade shows that SPTO participates in, and then also those in China, CITM in China. As I said, also, the importance of these markets is the accessibility, the airlines. So the Asian region does have good air connectivity. So that does help in our efforts to increasing our marketing efforts in this region. So yes, it is an important emerging market for us.
So I know that Air New Zealand is one of your tags here. So do you try to work with the airline when they come down to New Zealand to tag on the islands?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We have to, again, we have to see how there is opportunity for the distribution of these travelers from the long-haul markets to Pacific Island countries and also to Australia and New Zealand. So working with the airlines does help us, put together programs for this travel.
The organization has done for creating a overarching South Pacific tourism brand, or is it are the islands better off marketing their own little destinations in the international market?
Yeah, in our organization, we do see the importance of branding, and we are working on having a Pacific Islands or South Pacific brand in our marketing campaign. In fact, it's already in our planning process right now, marketing planning for activities that we'll be doing in the next couple of years. So the issue of branding is being re-looked at and see how we can, brand Pacific Islands as a destination.
As a single overarching.
As a single destination. So the South Pacific brand is something that we're working on. Because when you talk about regions, when you promote the regions, the visibility and the impact it does, happening out in the markets, creates more impact. The overseas travelers know more that where the Pacific region is, and then from there, then they can tag on to each of the island destinations.
What's the likelihood of the Pacific becoming like a film industry destination where, like with Film Rari last year, they tried to attract a lot of interest? Is there any thought towards developing that area of tourism or that area for the Pacific?
Yeah, on tourism linking up to the film industry, we've had some experiences with that, particularly with the bigger countries like Fiji and other bigger destinations. And we see value in working with the film industry in that. It does offer good promotional activities for us. It's almost like a very important segment, good segment for tourism in Pacific Island region. And yes, we have been trying to work with organizations that run those type of industries, film industries. So when that comes on, we're happy to tag along and work with them.
The cruise industry, it's taken off like the Pacific in the fact that when one cruise line arrives, it's 2,000, 3,000 visitors all at once. How big an effort are you making to engage with the cruise industry? I understand there's a monopoly in the Pacific, but particularly.
Yes, sir. Cruise is an important segment of tourism in Pacific Island countries. Like we are island countries, so all we have is little island and then plenty of sea. So cruising is an important part of tourism for us. But we are working on with the cruise operators to see how best can we be prepared to service these ships. The ships are getting bigger. You mentioned 2,000 passengers. That's what we're having now. From the research that we've done in cruise tourism, potential for that in Pacific Island countries, these ships that are building now are getting bigger. It's going to 3,000 to 5,000 passengers. So for Pacific Island countries, it is important that they invest in infrastructure for cruise shipping. Because it is quite important, and like you correctly said, when a ship berths in port, you have 2,000 passengers getting on, and the direct impact on the local economy is quite significant. So cruise shipping is part of our program that we're working on, and we've seen the importance or the imperative for us to work with the industry and private sector industry. So we've been in touch with Cruise Liners International Australasia. It's the Association of Cruise Ships in the Pacific. Australia, New Zealand are the big source markets for cruising in the Pacific. And the biggest destination are New Caledonia, Vanuatu, and Fiji. And the other ones come in second, but we're trying to expand that to other island countries. But the issue that we have with cruise shipping is the issue of infrastructure, which we have been communicating to the governments, that you need to put infrastructure on the ground before you can get cruise liners coming in.
New Zealand has been directing a lot of its aid toward developing infrastructure, the Moomba Airport, for instance, in the Solomon Islands. Are you in dialogue with the